My name is Sarah Villarreal. I go to Texas Lutheran University. I am majoring in education and I am a sophomore.
Name is Nicholas Young. I'm going to Texas State University and I am currently going in as a junior, so third year, and I'm really loving it.
Hello, my name is Jon Duarte. I am a business major with my option in accounting. I currently attend Fresno State University, and it is my senior year there right now.
Hi, well, my name's Danny Mai. I go to Georgia State University studying risk management and insurance with a focus on cyber risk management at the JMAC Robson College of Business, and I'm currently entering my third year.
Give me an example of how the coronavirus has affected you in particular as a student.
Oh man, it has affected me in so many ways. It has affected me by taking away my last back half of my freshman year. I feel like it made my life very difficult to come home and try and do all my homework and everything, and then not really sure about what's going on, and then trying to communicate with other classmates who still don't know what's going on, and then having to go through like, okay, well, when do I move out? Like, when am I going to be able to get my stuff? Like, are we even allowed on campus? Are we ever going to go back?
Right.
It took away my spring season for volleyball. It was hectic.
So I will definitely have to say, COVID affected me actually pretty hard. For one, being a first gen in my family, and especially at my dream college that I've wanted to go to since middle school, it hurts. It hurt me. And already my third semester, I'm not enjoying it. Like, I love Texas State, I love the campus, the atmosphere. It's just, with COVID, my second semester there got shortened and I had to come home, and I didn't want that. It's gonna feel different in a, I guess, one in a positive way, different because we all knew that with this happening, we're gonna have a different look at what campus life is gonna be, positive and negative. And the negative side of it is like, none of us wanted this, but it happened, and we gotta continue doing what we can in our part to shorten the curve and get back to normal.
For me, it affected me because, well, halfway through the semester, you go from meeting in person to straight going online.
Yes, sir.
It's a weird transition because you're so accustomed to, learning in person, being able to ask questions like without any delay, or having to talk over to people in an online setting. And with online using Zoom, it's nice still, but there's still some awkward moments where it's like people are trying to talk to each other or over each other, and someone will try to say something when another person says something. And then the other issue with that would be like class material. Like, some stuff is a lot harder to transition online. And then you have teachers that have never taught online. Like, they're just strictly in-person teachers, and now you have to create an entire education plan around that. And that could be a big issue, like, especially if they're older teachers that aren't as tech savvy as some of the other teachers.
So my campus specifically is a commuter heavy campus. And with that fact and notion, pretty much I lived on campus and I got evicted. Well, rather, I kind of had to move out because of COVID and complications in COVID. So because of that, my school has completely shifted to an online forum per se, but pretty much my interaction has mostly been through forums such as GroupMe, email, and iCollege, which is my school's portal. Okay. It's been very tricky, of course, because, internet issues, connectivity issues, and stuff of that matter.
Yeah.
But I've been doing my best, and I've been hosting a lot of study sessions, a lot of meetings with a lot of students, trying to make the best light out of the current situation.
In your opinion, how will the coronavirus affect first-gen students who are incoming to college right now?
Now you have kids that are like, well, I don't have to take it as serious because it's online, and so I can slack off a little more.
Yeah.
And so there's that problem. A lot of the incoming college students aren't going to have that college experience where they're away from home. They're stuck at home, and that's people see that as like a growing experience. You're finally on your own. You're allowed to do certain things that are, as an adult, as you're working towards your career.
I first want to say that the incoming first gen, those that graduated high school, first of all, I want to give huge props to them. They showed that no matter what happens, we're going to finish whatever we were starting. And I think they're going to have, again, like I said before, a different view on what college is going to be versus what we, like me and you, went through before. But at the same time, at least some colleges are opening up so we can still be able to go and enjoy the atmosphere and the view of these campuses. Again, it's going to affect them differently, but I want them to still know that just because COVID happened doesn't mean that you should feel different when you go to campus. Still, like I said, take in the moment and know that I got here.
I think it will affect us just by us not really completely sure about still like what's going on. So we have no one to really lean on in our immediate family, like no one that we can really ask like, hey, like I'm not really sure about what's going on here. Like no one else really knows either. And so it's like being first gen, it's like you don't really have like someone to lean on. It's really all you.
So the biggest issue that I personally had as a first generation student, well, first generation Asian American specifically, was that no one in my family really like helped me throughout the entire process. I had to apply to a lot of things by myself. Only reason why I'm doing what I do as of right now is because of all the people I've been able to interact with and form this really genuine, really valuable mentorship. So with COVID raging on, I'm pretty sure that's going to have a huge toll on the first generation population. In addition to the fact that with COVID raging on, 6 feet distance, no more than 10 people per group, masks and all that. So corporate visits and a lot of other things of that nature would be really difficult.
Right. With, of course, COVID-19, how has that affected you in regards to traveling, whether you were commuting to college or you were vacationing, trying to drive out of state, any of those examples, and more, of course. How has that affected you traveling?
I'm not at my apartment. I moved back in with my parents, at least temporarily.
You're good.
My fiance actually came down before lockdown happened and surprised me. My parents brought her down here for us to see each other, and what turned into 8 days turned into 3.5 months of her staying here because we didn't want her to go back because we were afraid. So yeah, we stayed home for most of that time, cooped up in the house, couldn't travel. But when we looked at how things were going, like depending on different weeks, we at least attempted to try to go do something small. For my 21st birthday, we ended up going camping for my whole birthday week, and we stayed inside of the RV as much as we can. We went out and just fished. We didn't go out to eat or anything. We kind of still social distanced away from other RVs, and the camp did as well. So that was good. But it was perfect, at least to just do small things. But now it's like, okay, numbers are increasing. Let's stay home again.
I've lost a couple of internship opportunities, some job offers, and I really can't go and be as active as I once was during the prior years.
Right.
And it's taken a huge toll on my networking and just my emotions in general, because I went from seeing my friends every day, seeing my girlfriend every day, to all of a sudden social distancing and doing the best given the situation. So like playing video games and stuff. Definitely COVID has completely neutered and negated any traveling opportunities I may or may have had, especially with business trips across country and whatnot.
That's true.
So it's been a huge change.
So I don't live close to TLU. I live half hours away. And so that was difficult, just being able to move out, like when to go, when to come back. I live in Brownsville, which is down the road from South Padre Island. And so now there were certain points where they closed the beaches, they closed everything. And then it was like, okay, what do we do now? And then they closed everything else. They forbid travel. There was a point also, since I live in the valley, we have to get through, it's called a checkpoint.
Yeah.
To get out of the valley to go up north, and it's where they check your citizenship. So there was a point where they closed that, where you couldn't get through. For volleyball this coming year, we were supposed to go to Wisconsin. We were supposed to go to Colorado, and our coach emailed us saying that that's not happening anymore. So it's cutting away a lot. So right now in the valley we have, I think it's the most amount of cases in all of Texas
Oh,
or in
okay.
all of the country. I think right now we have more cases than New York had. So we are an extreme hot zone right now. The only place I go to is like my boyfriend's house, or I go work out, but even then I go work out at a friend's house.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's like very minimal contact with people.
It hasn't really affected me in traveling that much, honestly. Like, I'm honestly lucky for where I live. I'm literally across the street from campus.
Oh, okay.
Like, I can just walk there. So I don't have to, you know, travel to go there or anything if I need anything on campus.
Yeah.
If I need to go to the store or something, me, my roommate, and his girlfriend, we all go together. So it's, you know, just to make sure everyone gets everything instead of people going individually or, you know. So it's not too bad.
What other struggles have you faced in general just because of COVID? Just anything, even if it's outside of school, just what have you faced in general because of it?
So the single-handedly most biggest like issue that I faced as a first generation student would be the whole relationship strain. My grandparents are starting to enter that old age where their health unfortunately starts declining and whatnot. So I haven't been able to visit them as often. That not only put a strain on me, but a strain on my grandparents, because like I'm their oldest like grandchild.
Right.
There's a lot of hopes and dreams invested into me from them. And because of such, we've been only communicating on cell phones.
Yeah.
And they really like seeing me face to face. And you know how grandparents
Yes,
are.
sir.
Romantically, my girlfriend lives about more than 50, about 100 miles away from me.
Yeah.
That's like one way. So it's kind of it's really difficult.
Yeah.
But like I said in the beginning, since we can't really control COVID, the best thing we can do is control our attitude. Why be consumed by all that sadness and all that remorse when you could just take everything as happy as you can and make the best out of the situation?
One of the things that I didn't get to experience is being able to walk on stage.
Oh, yeah.
And that was a very big thing because I didn't walk for high school. I didn't walk when I graduated from community college just because it wasn't that big of an issue to me. It wasn't a big thing to me. But coming over here, I was like, all right, you know what? This is a 4-year university. I'm going to do it this time because I want to do it for my mom, for my family, for my friends, you know, people that helped me along the way. I want to do this for them, you know? And then all this happened and I just don't get to experience that, you know? And it's not just me. It's like everyone else that was going to walk on stage graduated this semester. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A big thing I'm worried about is obviously volleyball. I mean, I think about it a lot. Our coaches told us that we're going to be in groups now when we do start season. According to right now, we are still having season. And when that starts, apparently we're going to be sectioned off into like groups. But like me and my friend were talking, it's like, well, we don't know how she's going to do that because, for example, like this past year with no corona, we would section off in like defense, offense, setters, whatever. And so now we are saying, well, we can't do that now. We're dividing up into groups. And if a person in that group tests positive, then just that group will quarantine. So there is still a team left. So we were saying, well, what if our libero gets tested positive? So then now all of our defense can't play. So it's like, are we going to have our 6'5" girls in the back row? Like that wouldn't work. And so we're just like very concerned as to what's going to happen, if anything's going to happen. I mean, it's completely possible our season could get canceled.
I think with COVID, I did some things that I've basically waited off and held back and was too scared to do. But real quick, talk about the struggles. Definitely one, like quarantine, people are eating junk food and they're gaining weight. I got that effect pretty bad.
Yeah, I feel that.
I'm not going to sit here and just be like neglecting it. It's true. But at the same time, I know that I can work on it, and that's what I'm doing now, which is great. Me and my parents got hit because of COVID pretty hard with like financial issues and everything.
Yeah.
Throughout that time, we were penny pinching. Luckily enough, things are coming up both on their side and my side. So at least that's a good positive. Now into the positive stuff. I actually am almost finished with my first ever song that I've ever written in my life. I got a tattoo, which I never thought I was going to do.
Okay.
It's a good one. It's a friendly reminder for me to know that no matter what happens, I can't give up what I'm doing, and that's music. Music has been a thing for me for years, and course, the initials of the people that helped me since day one. I love them. I'm glad that they have supported me. So hopefully, because of COVID, like I'm starting to feel it, but I hope it can continue of not being scared to do these things that I wanted and just do it.